Good evening. I came and I wanted to discuss with you guys tonight about skin cancer and the importance of wearing sunscreen to prevent skin cancer. Just as a raise of hands, how many of you in the next week will spend more than 5 to 10 minutes outside in the sun? You can raise your hand or you can choose not to. How many of you apply sunscreen on a daily basis? All right.
What is that?
So this is a good topic then. Skin cancer is an epidemic in our world today and is likely to affect some of you in this room. The American Cancer Association reports that skin cancer is the #1 cancer in the United States. The amount of skin cancer cases surpasses that of all other cancers added together. So take all the other cancers, add them together, and it doesn't even compare to the amount of skin cancers. The American Cancer Association also reports that most skin cancers are a result of UV ray exposure. UV rays, we have 3 of them. They're UVA, UVB, and UVC. UVA and B are the ones that we're concerned with. UVA rays are the ones that cause skin damage, and from sun damage to the skin, and they cause aging. But UVA rays also increase the effect of UVB rays, and UVB rays are thought to be the main cause of skin cancer. The UVB rays are the ones that are going to give you a sunburn and cause noticeable skin damage. UVC rays, we're not really sure exactly their role and how they play with these things. Most of the time UVC rays, they stop at the ozone layer. So as long as we maintain our ozone layer of the earth, then those are something we don't really worry about at this time. There is more than one type of skin cancer. Mayo Clinic gives us a good description of the different types of skin cancers. We have basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, melanoma, and then we have other non-melanoma skin cancers that have to do with other things. The ones that we'll concentrate on today are the first 3. Basal cell carcinoma, this is going to come up in exposed areas that get sunlight. This may appear as a waxy bump or even a scab that won't heal and it keeps coming back. On the handouts that I gave you, there are some actual pictures of these different types of skin cancers. Basal cell is going to kind of be like a plaque, like a plaquey buildup kind of looking lesion. Squamous cell carcinoma is the next one. This also appears in sun-exposed areas unless you have a darker skin tone. People with darker skin tones, squamous cell carcinoma is more likely to appear on the body where it is not exposed to sun. So palm of your hands, palms of your feet kind of thing, anything under the clothes. If you have a darker skin tone, that's where the squamous cell will more than likely come up on you. Squamous cell carcinoma is either a red and firm nodule, or it can also be a flat and scaly red area. The most dangerous of the skin cancers is the third one, melanoma. It is the most aggressive and life-threatening if not caught early. If it is caught early enough and treated, you can have 100% recovery. According to research done by the Mayo Clinic and the Skin Cancer Foundation, melanoma appears more frequently on the face and the trunk of the body for men and the lower legs for women. Melanoma could appear as a mole that has grown or changed shape, a mole that starts bleeding or is easily irritated. Melanoma is typically brown to black in color, and it is not uniform in shape or in color. So it'll be different shades of brownish black. It won't have a distinct border most of the time. Most of the time it will have more of a feathered border. Julie Van Onselen tells us in her article titled Skin Cancer, Educating the Public on Signs and Symptoms, a statistic she found at Cancer Research UK states that the diagnosis of melanoma skin cancer has increased by 50% over the last decade, which is a lot. So a lot more people are coming up with melanoma because we're out in the sun is hotter and brighter, and we're not protecting ourselves. Johns Hopkins Medicine is a very reputable source. They recommend that everyone uses sunscreen with an SPF rating of at least 30 or more daily to prevent overexposure to the sun. Here in the United States, our Department of Health and Human Services states that limiting UV ray exposure is the easiest and most effective skin cancer prevention that we can take for ourselves. The American Surgeon General published a brochure booklet called Call to Action, in that they detail the importance of taking steps to prevent skin cancer. They also put out a statement that sunscreen is not enough, that further measures should be taken to prevent the sun from damaging our skin. Things such as hats, sunglasses, long sleeves, long pants, anything to cover the skin and to give you shade, to keep direct sunlight from coming onto the skin, is going to help on top of applying sunscreen. The American Journal for Public Health argues the point that shade and more protection for the sun on top of sunscreen is needed to prevent sun damage and skin cancers. It's safe to say that we are all exposed to the sun and to UV rays at some point in our lives, and because of that, skin cancer is a topic that we should be educated on and that we should take steps to prevent. Skin cancer does not discriminate, so it affects people of all races and all skin tones. Many times people believe if they're of a darker skin tone that they don't burn in the sun, or they don't need to use sunscreen because it doesn't affect them like someone who is more fair-skinned. That is not true. You are just as much at risk for skin cancer with a darker skin tone as someone who easily burns. With skin cancer being the most common cancer in the world today and increasing in frequency by 50% in the last decade, I would like to challenge you today to consider the health of your skin and ultimately your health in the years to come. Sunscreen and proper care of your skin is something that'll pay off now and until the day you die. Sun protection is simply achieved through the use of sunscreen, SPF 30 or above, covering your arms, your legs, and exposed areas, and even in light, airy clothes, wearing a hat, wearing sunglasses, and providing yourself shade when you can, even when you work out in the sun. So I look forward to seeing you guys not burnt and applying sunscreen.